Happy Friday!
Happy Friday!
Happy Friday!
Happy Friday!
Hi everybody, welcome to Fun Friday. Today we're going to be making yarn pumpkins. At the end of this video, this is what you'll have. A nice little pumpkin made of orange yarn. I didn't exactly have the right color orange today, so my pumpkin's a little more like burnt bronzy orange, but you can use whatever color you want, and you don't even have to do it to make pumpkins. You could make a ball like this for any occasion. So, to get started for today, you're going to need yarn of any color, obviously orange if you want to make a pumpkin. Pipe cleaners, I'm using 2 brown pipe cleaners and 1 green pipe cleaner. These are to make the stem and the leaves. Scissors for cutting your yarn into the correct lengths. I cut mine into 36-inch long, so 3 feet long. Basically, as long as you want to make them is okay. The longer the better, it'll be a little easier to wrap them. And I made, for my pumpkin, you'll need 21 strings. I've just got a couple here to show you. A balloon, that's what you're going to use to wrap the pumpkin. You'll need a pencil for a little later for using with your pipe cleaners. And then you'll need some glue and a bowl. I've already poured my glue in. I would say for the project, I think about 4 ounces is probably enough. Just start with a little bit and add some more as you go. It's not super hard. It is a little messy. I will apologize, parents. This one gets a little messy. But it's washable glue, so everything washes off and it doesn't stain, which is perfect. So, to start, the first thing I did when I did it, which you'll see later, is I hung up my balloon. I don't have a space to hang my balloon right now for this video, so I'm gonna do it a little differently. But what I recommend doing is tying a string around your balloon, around the neck, and then hanging it from a kitchen cabinet, hanging it from the end of a counter. If you just put like a book on the other end, something that'll keep it in the air. It makes it much easier when you can have your hands full or your hands empty. So today I'm just gonna do it on the table to show you. Then, the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take your yarn, not straw, and you're gonna dip it in your glue. So I just kind of drop it down into the glue, and then I take my fork in my right hand and I just make sure it gets a little bit of glue on all of the yarn. It's gonna look really yucky. And you want to make sure all the yarn, including the top where you're touching, gets glue on it, because that has to stick. So you are going to get a little glue on your fingers. So, but then the reason we have a fork is because you don't want all the glue on the yarn. So what you do is you take your fork or your thingamabob, I've got plenty, and you're gonna just run it down the yarn, take off all of the extra glue that you don't need. Okay, then you take your balloon, and I like starting at the top, and you just stick it somewhere. It will stick to your fingers, and then you just wrap it around. And you can wrap it in any which way. So you see, I just kind of went all the way around the balloon. I'm gonna take my next one. I'm gonna dip it. I'm gonna use my fork to get my glue all over my yarn. This is why you don't need a lot, because every time you pull it out of the glue, you end up actually with a lot of extra glue back in there. So I'm gonna start again at the top of my yarn, take my fork, get off my extra. You can see there's a lot of extra right there at the bottom of that fork. So that all came off. And then again, maybe this time I start at the bottom, and I just wrap around and around and around. And if there's a place that's not sticking, I just took a little extra glue on my end of my finger, and I just stick it down there, nice and easy. So you'll go ahead and do that with, I did it with about 18 strings. You don't have to do 21, you could do 10, however you like it. And then you are going to keep it hanging where you left, where you were using it. So if you hang it from your kitchen cabinet and you can leave it there overnight, great. I would leave it there overnight. I left mine about 24 hours. So you're gonna leave it there to hang and dry, and then when you come back the next day to do it, it's gonna be all nice and dry and ready for the next step. Okay, so after waiting about a day, you're gonna take your pumpkin, which now looks like this. Ooh, and it has lots of yarn tangled in it. And we're gonna have to let the air out, but we don't wanna pop it because then it'll collapse all of the string that's around it. So what we wanna do is, you know that really annoying thing that you do when your parents are around and you take the balloon and you let a little air out and you go, ee, and make that noise? So we're gonna take our scissors, and adults might have to help here, banana old jar, and we're gonna cut a tiny little hole. And I can hear it. The air's coming out. And what you need to make sure you're doing is trying to get it unstuck a little bit, because you don't want it taking your yarn so as it goes, you want to be careful not to break it. So every pumpkin needs a stem and some leaves. So to make our stem, we're going to take brown pipe cleaners, and I'm just going to twist these together just so it looks like one long pipe cleaner. And I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to wrap the brown pipe cleaner around my finger, ow, all the way till it gets to the end. I just poked myself. And I'm gonna squish it a little bit because I don't want it to expand too much. I don't want a super tall stem. That looks pretty good. And then for my leaves, I'm gonna do the same thing, but I want them even shorter and I want them even tighter. So I'm gonna use a pencil. I'm gonna take pipe cleaner and you're just gonna wind it around your pencil, pull it off. We've already got one right here, one right here, and now it's time to attach them. So now we have our brown stem, and I actually made one of the curls just straight at the end so I can use it to attach. So I'm gonna take it, stick it through, and I'm just gonna wind it around. So now my stem is attached. It sticks up nice. And then I'm gonna take one of my little curly leaves and do kind of the same thing. Make one of the ends a little straighter. Wrap it around right next to the stem. There we go. Take my other one, wrap it around on this side. And you've got a cute little pumpkin. And you can leave it out at your house somewhere. Thanks.